So I've been planning on building a gaming PC for quite some time now, and time being the key word in that sentence because that is the main reason why I haven't done it yet. You see, it's going to take time to research and source the parts and get them delivered. And then it's going to take time to learn how to put it all together, install all of the software and all of the drivers. And then there's the epic amount of time it's going to take me to do the cable management, especially because that's a skill that I just don't have. And time is important to me, and I'm assuming it's important to you too, because nobody can give you your time back, and it is of the essence and forever fleeting. So let me just get to the point. I've been thinking about building a gaming PC since the pandemic in 2019, and the reason I haven't done it is because I've never found the time. And the solution to my problem would be to get a professional gamer, someone who truly loves gaming, to build a PC for me. Now, I know what you're thinking, that sounds like it would be expensive, but stick around and watch this video because what I'm about to show you might surprise you. So when NZXT reached out to me to sponsor a video, I literally couldn't say no because they offer the ideal solution for the problem that I'm having. NZXT are best known for their computer cases, their cooling solutions, their RGB kits and their power supplies. And they've even created their own software called NZXT Cam to monitor everything inside their gaming rigs. And most of the people who work for NZXT are gamers, and they're the same people who are building their pre-built machines. So it's pretty much guaranteed that their cable management skills are going to be far superior to mine, as well as their knowledge of how to put together a good gaming rig. And NZXT offer 3 tiers of gaming PCs. There's the Player 1. This is your entry-level model starting at £1,049. This is rocking an Intel i5 and RTX4070, 16 gigs DDR4 RAM, 500 gig NVMe M.2 SSD. And then there's the Player 2, and that's the model that I have here, and I'm going to give you guys a close-up look at all of the components in a moment. And the top tier is Player 3. This is the big boss. It starts with an Intel i7 RTX4070 Ti, 32 GB of DDR5 RAM, 1TB SSD and ATX 750 gold power supply unit. And it's in a bigger casing with more cooling fans, and the entry model of the Player 3 starts at a surprising £2,399. And these pre-built configurations are not set in stone. You can go in and customize each and every element of the build if you want to, or you can go for the Prime option where NZXT basically turn everything up to 11 and max out the specs on that particular machine. So for a little extra cash, you can supercharge any of these pre-built gaming machines. And one of the greatest things about NZXT is they actually make a lot of the parts themselves, and they use them in their pre-built machines. And this allows them to retail the pre-built machines at very competitive prices. And in some cases, if you break down part by part how much it would cost to build it yourself, the difference in price is minimal. And if you think of that marginal markup as the cost of hiring a professional, a true PC gamer to build your machine for you, and then factor in all of the time you'll save, I think you'll agree what NZXT offer is worth every penny. So now let me give you guys a close-up look at the Player 2 rig that NZXT has sent over for review. The casing is NZXT's own H5 Elite case. There's smoky glass panels on the front and on the side, and they're easy to remove. And straight away, you'll see what a beautiful job NZXT has done with their cable management. The H5 Elite case has 4 fans, 2 at the front with customizable RGB, 1 on the back that acts as the main exhaust, and there's 1 more at the base of the case pointed diagonally upwards towards the graphics card, and there's also a nice bit of ventilation on the top. On the back, there's a good amount of I/O, and the exact specs are on the screen right now. And then on top, we have a headphone jack, a USB-A and a USB-C port, which is perfect for plugging in controllers or USB dongles or external hard drives. The motherboard is a Gigabyte B550 Aorus Elite AXV2. This is the non-prime version of the Player 2 rig, and it's rocking the AMD Ryzen 5600X, and it's cooled by NZXT's own Kraken 120 AIO liquid cooler, which also has customizable RGB. There are 2 sticks of T-Force 8GB DDR4 3200 RAM with RGB, and there's a Kingston 1TB NVMe M.2 SSD, and the power supply for this unit is NZXT's own SFX 650 watt gold. which has more than enough power for this particular build. But the absolute cherry on the cake is NVIDIA's RTX4070, which can run Call of Duty Warzone at 175 frames per second in HD, 114 in 1440p, and it does support the brand new DLSS 3, which is a next level AI graphics feature, and I'll come back to that in a moment. And it's all well and good to reel off the spec sheet, but what I think you'll find more interesting is to actually see it for yourself. And I do have a thermal imager here so I can show you guys where all the heat is coming from and where it's going inside the casing. So first of all, I'm going to run Cyberpunk 2077 with all of the exclusive NVIDIA features switched off, so you get an idea of what the performance is like without all of that stuff, and then we'll switch it on and see what the difference is. Okay, so this is how it ran with the generic settings. Now let's see what we get with all of the graphics maxed out, all of the NVIDIA features on, and ray tracing overdrive enabled. So the average frame rate with DLSS enabled and all the NVIDIA features is surprisingly good, and of course we could improve that even further by switching the graphics down to 1080. Okay, now let's do a similar test with a Plague Tale Requiem. First I'm going to run it with NVIDIA DLSS Super Resolution off and NVIDIA DLSS Frame Generation off, and let's see what we get. Okay, so you can see the gameplay is averaging under 60 frames per second. Let's enable the NVIDIA DLSS 3 and see what we get. Okay, so it's fair to say NVIDIA's features are literally a game changer. There's a stark difference when you enable DLSS, and it's even more noticeable here because Plague Tale does support DLSS 3. And just to summarize what DLSS 3 is, it generates frames by utilizing AI. It's a brand new feature and it is exclusive to RTX 40 series GPUs. These graphics cards use 4th gen Tensor cores and an optical flow accelerator to make this magic happen, and it really is a powerful feature. And it's not just these couple of games here that have DLSS 3. Most of the AAA game developers are on board with this, and there are already tons of AAA games that support it. And even if you have a 4K monitor and max out all of the settings and the frame rates and the graphics, if you have DLSS 3 on, you're going to get incredible frame rates and low latency with the new RTX 40 series graphics cards. And of course, with these graphics cards you also get NVIDIA Reflex, which reduces the latency down by around 20%, and that is the difference of life and death in games like Call of Duty. Trust me, I've learned that the hard way. And another advantage of the RTX 40 series is that it brings the new NVENC feature, which is a new encoder for improved game streaming performance, and also this assists with creative workflows. So if you're a content creator, game streamer, these new RTX 40 series graphics cards are truly built for you. So here's my opinion on NZXT as a company and what they offer when it comes to pre-built gaming PCs. If you're on the fence and you're thinking about making the jump from console gaming to fully fledged PC gaming, there's really two approaches to it. There's the hard way, and that is to source the parts, buy the parts, learn how to put them all together properly and install all of the software, and that can be quite rewarding, and maybe you'll save a few quid. But you also run the risk of making mistakes and actually ruining the hardware, which is probably what would have happened to me had I have attempted to build something like this. Or there's the easy way. You could select a pre-built PC from NZXT like this one here, the Player 2. And when you do, you get peace of mind knowing that this machine has been put together right here in the UK. And on top of that, if anything goes wrong within 2 years, all of the parts and all of the labor have a 2-year warranty. And when it arrives at your house, all you need to do to get it started is plug it in and it's pretty much ready to play straight away. So if, like me, you've been trying to decide whether to build or buy pre-built, my advice to you is to do the maths, see what the difference in price is, and then add the time it would take you and the effort you'd have to put in to build something like this. And once you have that number, you got to ask yourself a question: how valuable is your time? My honest opinion on NZXT pre-built gaming PCs are These things are worth every penny. As you've seen in this video, it is truly a game changer. Anyway, I appreciate you guys for watching this one. If you got any value out of it, a little thumbs up would make my day. And if you've just subscribed, I will see you guys in the next one. Don't be late.
We just have to think 14 moves ahead, that's all.